Hello everyone and welcome to another StarCraft 2 match. This one's going to be between EmpireKas spawning as a red Terran and his opponent is going to be WhiteRa spawning as a blue Protoss. And the map's going to be Shadow Temple, and let's see what's going to happen here. And this one's going to be actually a pretty awesome game because everybody knows that WhiteRa, man, this guy is so good. And EmpireKas is one of the awesome players too. And these both guys, I think, from Ukraine. I know WhiteRa is from Ukraine for sure, but I'm not sure about EmpireKas. But I know WhiteRa is from Ukraine for sure because I'm from Ukraine. And this guy, WhiteRa is pretty much going to represent Ukraine in any GSL, MLS, whatever, anything with StarCraft 2 or StarCraft Brood War. WhiteRa's there for Ukraine. And I see that EmpireKas can speak Russian. And yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's from Ukraine or Russia, I guess, because if he knows how to speak Russian or Ukrainian, I guess, because WhiteRa exactly knows what he's saying. And WhiteRa says, yes, I understand. Not in a... I mean, it's kind of hard to explain the Ukrainian language because it's not the same translation to English like people think. But, and WhiteRa, I don't see what WhiteRa is doing because WhiteRa is amazing. I guess somebody paused the game because he said, go play. Go play, good luck. And he says yes. And EmpireKas actually put a supply depot all the way behind his mineral line. And I don't see any barracks. He has like 14. Man, both players, I don't even see any gateways from either player. What are these two guys are doing? EmpireKas might be going for early expansion before even getting a barracks. And he is actually going for the command center before the racks. And WhiteRa surprisingly doing the same thing. So I don't know if these two guys are just playing with just playing each other for fun, so they both going for identical builds, or I don't know. I know there's 4 games between these two players, and yeah, I kind of want to watch them because it looks like both players are going for exact same openings, and there should be a second supply. No, actually EmpireKas is going to go for 2 racks, not instead of getting second supply depot. And WhiteRa is going to be scouting in a correct way, and EmpireKas is still not scouted WhiteRa, but both players are openings pretty much identical, except WhiteRa actually is getting a simulator, and EmpireKas has no refinery, nothing yet, and WhiteRa is going to be probably poking around, going to try to snipe this SCV just to delay this expansion for a little bit, but there's a second SCV coming in from EmpireKas to prevent this from happening. And WhiteRa's just gonna poke around with this little buddy. He's gonna see dual racks, so he knows there's gonna be pressure coming towards him, so he needs to get a zealot at least to defend against this. And cybernetic core is gonna be coming in from WhiteRa, which is standard after getting you want to tech hop as fast as you can when you're a Protoss player. Terran player not so much, because you kinda it depends what kind of build your opponent's going, so it also always depends on that. And EmpireKas is gonna be getting a bunker just to play safe in case WhiteRa is going to try to push some pressure on him, and WhiteRa's expo is actually up and running, and EmpireKas doing the same thing, getting a observatory, orbital command observatory. That's from StarCraft 1. And yeah, WhiteRa just going to be pretty much, both players are going to have to play passive for a little bit because they both went for the expansion before even get a gateway or a racks. So this is going to be a kind of cool build to watch from both players. If you're a Protoss player or a Terran player, you kind of learn from this, I guess, how to do these, because these guys are pro and really high level, especially WhiteRa. I don't know much about EmpireKas. I apologize about that, but WhiteRa, man, WhiteRa can do special tactics. He can do Void Ray. He used to be really good with Void Rays in beta. He just bring like 2 Void Rays in the mineral line, and he started messing your shit up with those 2 Void Rays, because Void Rays used to be OP big time back in betas, early betas. And Stalker is in the field, so he's gonna prevent any scouting from EmpireKas that he tried to scout again. But it doesn't really matter since he already scouted the whole WhiteRa's base with that SCV. And yeah, WhiteRa is gonna be getting 3 more Stalkers on the way. He's not chrono boosting. He should be chrono boosting the warp gate technology in case he's gonna put some pressure. And EmpireKas actually is gonna be probably gonna try to get his 3rd. Gonna just break these rocks eventually. Maybe a couple minutes. Give him a couple minutes to do that. And yeah, WhiteRa's just gonna be doing actually the same thing. So I don't know how these two players, they're probably mind readers because they do read their minds pretty much evenly. They're both going for the same kind of build, 4 racks, and no, just 3 gateways. There would be 4 gateways just to make it even, but there's only 3. And there's actually another command center, so yes, EmpireKas will gonna go for this expansion. And these two guys, man, they're just playing really big macro game right now. Nobody's gonna try to push any pressure on anybody. This probe's gonna control this Omega Tower. Justice and divisions. These stalkers are gonna be done with rugs. Boom! These guys just popping up like the balloons, and there should be probe in a way dropping a pylon, and probably gonna be a nexus because he does has enough money to drop a nexus right now. And yes, it's going to be getting a nexus right now, but EmpireKas Expo is going to be a little bit earlier since he did build it before, so he can just lift it off and fly it over here. And WhiteRa, just both players are just macroing like crazy. They are actually identical, supply 66 to 67, which is pretty weird because these guys are identical right now. It's really hard to tell what's going to happen in this game, except Mass Marine right now. Which, if WhiteRa goes for the side storms, these storms will wreck those guys pretty fast. Or charge zealots, which is he is researching charge. Because charge zealot versus a marine, it's like Zergling versus, I don't really know what to compare, but you know what I'm trying to say. And the Takodons are actually going to be going, so he's going to go Marauder Marine build, and Stimpaks are going to be researched right now, which is really like the first upgrade you probably should get, actually, because it takes forever to get stim now in the game, because a lot of people complain that Terran was OP, and he probably still OP, but every day these Korean players or these European players, they will find something to make this game even more OP, because these guys play probably 12 hours a day, and they do get paid for this, because professional gaming, a lot of teams take this seriously, and this probe like, oh, I'm out of here, because I can't zap everybody with this. Even though my zapping from the probe doesn't do much. And WhiteRa actually is going to be getting a lot of zealots. These zealots might be enough to deal with that many marines, because zealots are charged and they hit like twice damage or something like that. I forgot how they just stab people with those knives. And WhiteRa actually is going to be putting a proxy pylon over here, maybe trying to warp in some units. And I don't know if EmpireKas is going to see that these two stalkers need to get out of there, because look at this, move and attack, A and move, pretty much. That's how you macro your marines like that. Ah, no, the pylon's been spotted. WhiteRa should have canceled it when he could have, but there's another pylon over here on the high ground, and he won't be able to see it unless there's something over here, or the scan's gonna go down. But WhiteRa is gonna try to be aggressive, push out with 4 stalkers and a lot of zealots and a sentry. Sentry needs to hurry up and start tickling something, because sentries do tickle people, or Zerglings, or whatever race it is. They will tickle everybody. And look at this, EmpireKas actually can just lift off, because there's not 4 stalkers would not be enough to do that many damage, but they did snipe a lot of SCVs. Actually, none of the SCVs made it back, so WhiteRa did actually pretty good damage over there with the attacking all of those SCVs right now. And yeah, I think WhiteRa has an advantage right now, because he is mining on 3 bases, but Terran with mules mining on 2, which is pretty much kind of the same. I think that's one of the let's look at the units lost. Pretty much identical right now, but he did kill a lot of SCVs though. And this is really heavy bio build right here. He needs to get some, I think he should get some medevacs, because you do need those medevacs, and there is actually 2 medevacs on the way. Because if you want to go Marine Marauder and against charged zealots and stalkers, you do need some medevacs just to regenerate the health, because after stim these units will go down eventually. And WhiteRa is just going to be chilling over here, researching storm level 2 armor. He will going to be going for dual upgrades, because I see the second forge, I think. Yeah, he already has 2 forges. I guess he's getting a 3rd one. Which one's with forge? Actually, he's not getting it's somewhere. It's building somewhere, it doesn't matter. He's going to go for the Colossus anyways, and he's going to be grabbing a 4th expansion right here. And these proxy pylons are actually good placement right now, because WhiteRa can reinforce his army anytime over here. And this flying factory needs to go over here, because he does need to spot this proxy pylon, which will help him to prevent anything, which prevent WhiteRa from getting reinforcement. And he's actually getting level 1 upgrades, which is level 2 for Kas and level 2 armor. So Kas is going to be a little bit up in upgrades. And WhiteRa, that poor zealot did not I don't think he even stabbed anybody, or he already regenerated. This, ah, look at this. This is funny. This is just funny to watch the Marines like, oh, I'm still running. Oh, well, I'll almost hit the wall, but I survived. And this poor zealot's gonna be like, oh man, oh, nope, nothing gonna happen, because Marauders were charged. I mean, with concussive shells, will stop those zealots from coming in pretty fast. And High Templars are on the field, and an Archon. Archon will do a lot of damage because this bio build, especially like the warping toilet thing, WhiteRa can do with the mothership, just warping all the units, put some Archons in it, and this whole bio army will melt down to a couple Archons and like instantly. I don't think Blizzard still fixed that, but they might have. I'm not sure. I haven't read the last patch notes, but it would be, they need to fix that, because even though I'm a Protoss player myself, I still would fix that just to make it even. And EMP went on top of all of these units, and the storms are going to be hitting all these units, but EMP are still hitting the High Templars, but I think they missed. And look at this. Oh, EmpireKas not in a good place for this, for him to be behind the middle line. And look how the storms are going to be melting this army. Zealot charge is coming in, and I don't think EmpireKas, his whole army just pretty much melted to the storms and charged zealots. And Archons are going to be coming in right now. And EmpireKas is a really bad positioning, but he does has a lot of minerals saved up, so he can rebuild his army. But look at the supply difference, 167 to 100, but he might still have a chance. There's 3 ghosts over here to defend against this, which if you can get some good EMPs on top of these Archons, none of their shields are going to be up, but I don't know. It's going to be hard for EmpireKas to do this, but he is. And actually, WhiteRa is actually maxed out already on his army, so I don't even know what to do, because WhiteRa is crazy at micro still, and EmpireKas has to drop back. I guess he was trying to attack here, but the Colossus is on the field for WhiteRa, and Colossus will melt these Marines like a butter on a stove. I don't know if that's an expression or not, but it sounded right to me. Sounded like an expression. Maybe put it in Google and claim it as my own. But it doesn't matter right now. There is 4 ghosts in the mix. And EMPs will be really crucial on top of all of these units. If he can get some good EMPs and stim up his units, he can pretty much annihilate this army, because the shields will be down for WhiteRa. But external lens upgrade is almost done, and I think WhiteRa needs to chrono boost it as much as he can. And this one medevac probably was going for the drops over here, but I kind of missed it. But nothing really died, so we are all good right now. If I missed that, I apologize. But look at this, EmpireKas is catching up in supply, because he did have a lot of minerals saved up, and he got an expo over here. Of course, it's going to be Planetary Fortress, just for safety purposes. You never know. And I think this is just going to come down to one big battle right now, coming in from WhiteRa. And EmpireKas just has to sit back for now, trying to make a lot of units, and WhiteRa's going to try to catch up on upgrades. Level 3 go down for WhiteRa, and 2 for attack, and 3-3 going for EmpireKas. And the Vikings are in the field, which is good, so they can focus down on the Colossus. And where's WhiteRa going? I'm not sure. Oh, there's his army. There's 4 Colossus. Oh no, all of these SCV probably gonna melt down. Oh, did you see that? Look at this. That was ridiculous. All of those SCV melted so fast because they all clamped up. And storms are going to be going down on these units. EmpireKas really needs to start microing down. More storms going in on top of these. I don't think he has anything. Because look at this, 89 to 155. And there is still plenty of Colossus on the field. And I think this is going to be GG from EmpireKas. Actually, smiley face. GG. And yep. And thank you for watching.